Hello and welcome to a new project on my channel. If you followed my channel, you know that we finished Pillars of Eternity yesterday, which means that today we can start with Pillars of Eternity 2. I have installed some mods, which we can actually check out here in the menu. I have the community patch so that we have less bugs and so on, enhanced user interface, which gives us a few colors in the descriptions, which will make it easier for us to understand or see things. Smooth voice set from Pillars of Eternity 1, because I noticed that the second game doesn't have the same voice sets, and I still want my character to have the same voice, so I have installed that. Everyone's 2 cents means that we have a lot more voiced comments, as you can read here. No forced rests. This is something that the second game does. Then if you have like story events, your party is doing a rest, which means you lose your bonuses that you had from the previous rest. You also lose your injuries, but you lose your bonuses as well. So I would like to do this manually. This is why I installed this one as well. Yeah, that's it. And we are, well, this small episode here is just about character creation. So once we go inside, I will skip towards the character creation. And if you want to see the whole story part, that starts from tomorrow, which I will call part 1, because it's going to be similar to the first game. Okay, I've talked enough, let's go in. In this game you have the option to play turn-based, however I always prefer real-time with pause. Also I played the first game in real-time with pause, well, mainly because turn-based mode wasn't out yet. Now it's currently in the beta, so it will be there in the future. And I've also heard that turn-based mode in this game is not as good as it could be. They're actually making a lot of changes for the better for the first game when it's implemented. But in any case, I'll go with real-time with pause. I'm used to it and I like it more. Okay, so we're gonna start with classic here. I know I have like finished the first game on hard, but I think we're gonna start with classic and then go up to veteran as soon as I'm feeling ready enough. Those 2 modes I'm not going to take. I also don't go for level scaling because, well, I think I said it already in the first game. I just don't like level scaling at all. I don't like if my enemies are scaling up to me, because it feels like you're not getting stronger anyway. I know that they could get experience as well and get stronger, but I want to have the feeling of getting stronger and being better in what I do, so I want to be able to, basically when I go back, when I'm level 1 and fighting someone, I have a hard time, but if I'm level 10 and go back to that region where I fought those level 1 enemies, I want to mop the floor with them, because it feels just really good. This is why I'm not going for level scaling. So yeah, we're gonna switch to veteran as soon as I think we're ready. Let's go. Like I said, we're gonna skip to the character creation for this part. Let's go. Okay, that's where we are in the character creation. We can import a character, but it won't be the same face that we had in the first game, because it's not importing here. You cannot import that. So I'll have to do it again, but it shouldn't be so difficult. We are male, of course. We are a human. We have the choice to be a Maua, dwarf, elf, godlike, human, or Orlin. But I will be human, because that's what I was in the first game. Then we have Meadow folk, Ocean folk, and Savannah folk, but I'm from the Meadow folk. Now there's one thing that has changed from the first game. Select single or multi-class. Would you like to make a single class or multi-class character? Single class characters are entirely focused on their chosen class. They gain access to higher level powers more quickly. Multi-class characters can select powers from 2 classes, but gain access to higher level powers more slowly and cannot access their class's highest level powers. Multi-class characters are not recommended for new players. Well, we played the first game in single class, so let's try out the multi-class in this one. We're gonna start with the Ranger, of course, because it was the same character as in the previous game, of course. I think nothing has changed here. We have some... Oh, we can check the ability tree. Oh yeah, that's pretty normal here. Yeah, but it's... Yeah, it looks a bit different, and it's really cool that in this game we can see all of the abilities already on one map in one ability tree, because in the first one you could only see the ones that you were able to select. And there was... Let me see here. You see intellect afflictions in blue and perception afflictions in magenta. This is the mods that I have spoken about in the introduction that we use to make it a bit easier to see and differentiate. Alright, so if I get it correctly, level 7 and 8 and 9, sorry, 8 and 9 are not available for us if we go multi-class, but it should be okay. Twin shots is something that might be interesting because we had twin arrows in the first game, but here it's just one attack that we get 2 projectiles, so it's much worse than in the first game, because in the first game it was a modal and we had it always active. So it's not a big loss then if we don't have levels 8 and 9. Alright, yeah, we are a ranger. We will be a subclass. We have no subclass, also another change to the first game. Ghost Hearts? Ghost Hearts are rangers whose animal companions have died but remained in the in-between as spirits to serve their masters. Ghost Hearts can summon the spirit of their companion in combat for a limited duration. Nope, I'm not gonna do that, because I want my bear back. Sharpshooter. Sharpshooters focus their attention entirely on ranged combat, relying on their animal companions to provide them defense for them. Their penetration and accuracy with ranged weapons is superior, but they take more time to recover between attacks and have poor deflection. Yes, however, and I said in the end of the previous game that I won't go on resolve, but I think I will put a lot of points in resolve just to have enough deflection to counter this one. Because I'm going for Sharpshooter, I can tell you already. Stalker. Stalkers have an especially strong bond with their animal companions and excel when they are close to each other, but suffer as soon as they are separated by any distance. The distance is 4 meters. No, 7 meters. 4 meters is the get bonus, 7 meters the penalty. This is for melee fighters. Like, for example, if I have like 2 weapons and I want to attack, or no matter what weapon, but if I want to melee fight next to my bear, which I don't, so it's not interesting for us. Arcane Archer. I think this one came in a bit later. This was not during the start of the game, I mean when the game launched, it came in later. Erefi find themselves gifted in both physical abilities and the more cerebral arcane talents. Arcane archers are among those few and apply their innate aptitude with magic by temporarily infusing spells into the projectiles. More commonly seen among traveling performers or during archery contests, these skilled individuals are both admired and reviled for their abilities. They can imbue their arrows, imbue missiles, briefly store a spell in the ammunition of your ranged weapons, to perform a primary attack releasing the magic on impact. As far as I understand, it's only working for one attack. A primary attack releasing the magic on impact, yes. And you could have a fireball, for example, with your with your arrow. The thing is though, that I will go for a specific second class in the multi-class, which is not very good with Arcane Archer. I think Arcane Archer is best for if you go solo, because then you can have twin shots, like I said before, with the fireball, and you can throw like 2 fireballs at once, as far as I understand. But I can explain in the second class that I take why this won't work. Because here actually, let's just say, the damage you do with everything here is going to be magical damage. That's going to be important. But I'm gonna take the Sharpshooter. Okay, the first thing we're gonna take is Marked Prey, and then we have our Bear Companion. Choose second class. Yeah, we're gonna take the Cipher, so we'll be a Seer. Let's explain that, because maybe you don't know exactly what it is, because in the first part I was a ranger. We had a cipher there as well, Grieving Mother, but I'm gonna read through it anyways. A recent discovery in the Eastern Reach, ciphers were once called Brichalgwyn, Mindhunters by the Glanfathans. Ciphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche, using an ally's or enemy's essence as the focus for their magic. Though most ciphers are still found in the Eastern Reach, practitioners of the techniques have spread throughout the known world. They are gaining acceptance over time, but are generally distrusted, and especially by the uneducated. Multi-class characters average their skill bonus across the both classes. Yes, basically it means we don't get like all of these. We just get a few of them, because the other ones we get from the ranger. However, we'll go for mechanics for sure, to have mechanics as high as possible, so that like in the first game I can disarm traps and so on and so forth. Insight is also very interesting, because it's going to be like I can see if people are lying to me, so I'm going for insight as well. And the thing is, with focus here, ciphers' powers require and consume focus and use. Ciphers begin combat with some focus and build additional focus by dealing damage with their weapons. And that's exactly it. Dealing damage with their weapons. And if I use Arcane Archer, I'll do magical damage. Yes, it is also damage with the weapons, but it doesn't count towards focus. So basically, if you use an imbued fireball arrow, you get only the cipher focus for the normal arrow damage and not for the fireball damage. Which is why it's not very useful to have an Arcane Archer with a cipher. Which is why I took the Sharpshooter instead. And the cipher, well, has a lot of spells that I can use then. So, subclasses for this. No subclass is clear. Ascendant. Ascendant ciphers train to use their powers when they are at full focus. This can make their powers devastating when they are finally unleashed, but leaves them underpowered in other circumstances. Whether earned or not, Ascendants have a reputation for being cocky and overconfident. Well, we're not cocky or overconfident, but we don't have to be, right? Because it's just a reputation. Beguiler. Beguilers emphasize the mind-bending powers of ciphers, relying on deception and illusion to defeat their enemies. Some beguilers are known for their odd sense of humor, love of riddles, and fondness for whale, god of dreams and secrets. Soulblades. Soulblades focus all of their energy on offensive powers and the use of their soul whip. Among ciphers, they are known for their aggression and short tempers, though not all soulblades have such a hostile disposition. And Scion. This is same as Arcane Archer, came in after the release of the game. Scions are quite rare, often beginning as prodigal young minds that slowly unlock secrets deemed incomprehensible to even the wisest scholars. Their powers require intense meditation, but can allow them to manipulate the conscious mind or move objects with incredible force. Again, like Soul Might and Telekinetic Burst, but I'm not really into that. I think I'm going for the Ascendant, because we need to reach full focus before we can use any magic, and I think that's fine. That makes us like using the bow more often, and only when we are like at the highest focus we use the magic. I think that's going to work well. Yeah, cipher power level is lower when we're not ascended, which means we basically just don't use any powers when we're not ascended. Okay, well then. We're gonna have Whisper of Treason first, which is something I had in the first game as well. The cipher bends the minds of an enemy to their will, charming them for the duration. This is just the first power we're gonna choose. Later on we're gonna have some damaging spells and other dominating spells. We're gonna make a huge, I don't know, like, what do you call it? A balance out of both, like commanding enemies, crowd control, and damaging them. Alright. Okay, my animal is called Arctos. Now, as I said, Resolve we're gonna put a bit higher so that our deflection is a bit higher, so that we balance out the Sharpshooter, but we don't need Constitution here. I could go back to 3, but since I'm going for 16 in Might, we will have plus 12 Fortitude, but Constitution would be minus 14. I'll go for 4, so that we have a Fortitude of 0 at least. Then dexterity needs to be the highest. We go for 17, which will be higher with the background that we choose. It will go up to 18. Perception, 14. Intellect, we could go to 12 because it's only area of effect and ability duration. Yes, I know we're gonna have to dominate enemies and it would be better to have it higher. Actually, I think I'm just going for resolve 12. Plus 2 deflection. We could have like 4 deflection here if I do that. But I think we can get deflection by other means. Let me put intellect to 14 so that we have a little bit more ability duration. And because you see here, plus 10%, plus 12%. Here it would be plus 1, 2 deflection. I'm not sure how strong deflection is, but I know that it is stronger than health. Because health will just, I mean, if our deflection is high enough, we're not getting any damage. So constitution doesn't matter at all. So let's go for this. I know that we had constitution like 8 in the last game and had a lot of trouble. But later on I think it wasn't a big problem anymore. I had resolve very high, to be honest. But we're gonna see how it's going to be. Just gonna see if I can stack deflection on my game. So we're gonna go for Deadfire Archipelago because that's the one I chose in the first game. Also, we're basically home in this game because it's gonna play in the Deadfire Archipelago. We're getting the plus 1 dexterity, which means we'll have 18 in dexterity now. We've been a drifter in the last game. However, I've checked already that the Explorer has diplomacy, which is probably better for us. And actually I should be a drifter, you know? I can make use of bluff as well. We've been a drifter, so I think I should keep being a drifter. Yeah. So, in this game I want to go for pistols, since you can use 2 pistols at the same time, 1 in each hand. We have like blunderbusses and arquebuses as well, but those are one-handed, I mean two-handed, so you can only wear one. But pistols, you can have both of them. Additionally, we go for the hunting bow because it's also a fast weapon. Alright. Now, originally, they didn't bring back the portrait from the first game, so I had to import it. I had to use a mod for this to have it here. Actually, it's not a mod, I just put it in the folder where you can find them. Yeah, this is the same portrait we had in the first game, and I want to use it as well in this one. Colors. Okay, let me just zoom out a bit. I think this is kind of the blue that we had in the first game on our body. Yes, I have been going through the characterization already just to see how it looks like, and so that I'm not taking 45 minutes like in the first game. Second, let's make it black. Yeah, black. Skin, I think we can keep it that way. I could make it lighter, but from here it looks a bit like it's a bit more orange. Also, we're from the Deadfire Archipelago, which is an island area. Archipelago is saying that word, of course. So I think we shouldn't have too light of a skin color. The hair. This looks like black here, but I think we're going for a mix of black and brown, if that's possible. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. Could do it the other way around as well. Yeah, I think that's fine as well. Because it looks like a mix of black and brown, right? I think that's gonna do it. Then the eyes are going to be brown according to our face here. Yeah. Head. We have several options, but I think the first one looks most to what we were in the first game. Yeah. And for the hair, yeah, I didn't see any other hair that fits better. Could go through them here, but I'm pretty sure that's the best one is the one we already had. We had like very short hair, for example, that's possible. But I'm not going for that. We have some female hairstyles. Well, I mean, men can wear them as well, of course. We have facial hair as well, but I'm not gonna take it. We didn't have it in the first game, and in the portrait we don't have it either. Just gonna go through them quickly so you can see. This looks a bit like a glitch, you know, like here it's completely closed and here it's open. I think it's not correct here. Yeah. But anyways, we're not going for a beard, and the best was the original hairstyle. It looks most to the one we had in the first game, and looks closest to the one on the portrait. For the voice, we can go through all of them, but you can see already PoE Smooth, that's the one from the first game that I installed, which I'm gonna use.
I'll go on ahead.
Let's go.
Let us end this.
Onward.
You're not hearing it, but let me check again.
They'll never know I'm here.
Now it's obvious it's the same voice as in the first.
No prisoners. Show them how it's done.
Let's go.
For strong jaw.
I'm not sure what Vox Machina means, to be honest. Is that another game or something?
Shall we begin?
It's probably like voices from another game,
Time for some good old-fashioned ultra-violence!
because that says like some names here.
Once more into the breach.
Here we go.
We could also have none, but I'm going for the one I installed.
I'll teach you a lesson.
Poses. We have poses here for the main menu. Let me go back like this, so that we can see hunched, roguish, sassy, stoic, sullen, sickly, erudite, pious, drunk, energetic, or savage. That looks weird. Okay, heroic is interesting, or energetic is interesting, where you have your arms here. I think I like roguish as well. Let's go for roguish, because we're like a ranger. I think that will fit as well. Yeah. So now the name. I think this is going to be how we get out of the character creation. So yeah, thank you for watching this first episode with the prologue or introduction and the character creation. And if you want to see the full playthrough or the start of the playthrough, tune in tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you there in the first episode of Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire. Until then, bye-bye. Oh yeah, actually we see the sheet here again, just to have that in there. But now, until tomorrow hopefully, bye-bye.